No, so all international data trends, and since you study data very well, suggest that whenever there is an external aggression, a threat to the country, it tends to benefit governments that are strong on nationalism and security. So you're assuming that post what's happened at Balakot, there will be an even bigger bump in the tracking data that you're putting out?
Are you looking for a headline?
I'm asking a question. I'm never looking for a headline.
I think it's not material. Right now, the nation stands behind our armed forces, stands behind our Prime Minister. He has demonstrated that the country is safe in Prime Minister Modi's hand. And I think it's a time where almost across the country, people are standing behind him and supporting his efforts to ensure this country is safe for our people.
I think the minister is completely in election mode, fully charged up. He's decided that if I ask a question which may lead to a positive statement from him, there must be a punch thrown then.
Sorry, Rahul.
If I ask a question which may lead to some concerns and we need to suspend disbelief, he wants to throw 2 punches then. So we're in election mode then.
Rahul,
Minister.
it's not the first time that I've come on your show. Sure. And each one of them have been equally exciting, if I may say.
Absolutely, and that's the whole idea, that there must be combat, not just in the skies, on the ground as well, and I'm glad you're taking these questions. Now, we had lots of economists critique over the last 40 minutes what the government has done and not done, and the one issue that came up again and again, Minister, is the issue of jobs. Now, we haven't seen the official government data, but we've seen some data points, and I want to quote them to you once and then get your response on them. The Center for Monitoring of Indian Economy has said that 11 million jobs were lost in 2018. This NSSO survey says that unemployment rate is at a 4-decade high at 6.1% in 2017-18. Then the EPFO data, which the government likes to cite so often, has suggested that there's a 13.3% cut in monthly job creation from about 6 lakh coming down to about 4.9 lakhs. Are these data points of concern to you, Minister?
Well, let's analyze each one of what you said. The first one you referred to is CMI. CMI started collecting some data only in 2016. So there's really no reference point before that. In any case, the antecedents of the agency doing the data also should be studied before we rely too much on any particular agency or organization. So I personally don't even look at the CMI data. I don't even believe that data has any base to stand on. They just started compiling data. Anybody who understands data knows that data comes over a long period of time. Data has to be sanitized. And over a period of time, data has to reorient itself to be relevant to contemporary times, right? Which is why the data on GDP very often, every 10 years, I think they in any case recalibrate the method of collecting data and the different elements of data that go into it. In the same way, jobs so far has had only one data, the NSSO data, which came once in 5 years. And by the time the report would come, 2 or 3 years more had gone by. So it was data that really had no resonance with the ground reality. I would like to ask anybody in this room who would agree that, say, 5 years ago or 10 years ago, even 15 years ago, India's unemployment was at 2%. Does anybody in this room agree that India's unemployment was at 2%?
Oh,
any one hand?
2 hands going up.
So
there.
2 hands go up who agree in such a large room that India's unemployment was at 2%. That only validates my point number 1, which I responded to.